Welcome to the final section 5 of the introduction chapter. In this section, we will be learning about the greenhouse gases, the carbon footprint, and net zero buildings. What are we waiting for? Now, let's get started on my sustainability champions of the future. Have you ever noticed where these greenhouse gases come from and how it affects our health? Imagine Earth wrapped in a blanket called the greenhouse effect. This blanket lets sunlight in but traps some of the heat, keeping our planet warm enough for life to thrive. The main material in this blanket are greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide and methane. They act like an invisible shield in our atmosphere, reflecting heat back to the earth otherwise escape into space. But here is the twist. When we burn fossil fuels and cut down the forest, we add extra layer of this blanket. More greenhouse gases get trapped, making the earth warmer than it should be. This causes big problems like melting ice caps, rising sea levels, and more extreme weathers like hurricanes and heat waves. To tackle this, scientists and engineers work on ways to reduce these gases and find a cleaner sources of energy like solar power. By understanding how green gases work and finding smarter ways to use energy, we can help our planet's blanket just right, warm enough to live comfortably, but not too hot to handle. Here is an illustration of the same. We need the greenhouse gas effect to survive on Earth. But as you are aware, too much of anything is harmful. Here, we humans play an important role to reduce the greenhouse gas effect by going towards net zero emission solutions. Now you will say, how can we reduce it? We can start by using less fossil fuels like coal and oil for energy. Instead, we can turn to sun and wind for power. This simple change can not only make the air cleaner but also saves money on energy bills. Farmers shall join too, finding new ways to grow food that didn't release as much gas into the air. We could plant trees that soak up the carbon dioxide. As we are aware, CO2 is one of the main troublemakers in greenhouse gas. Cities and towns must create projects which makes buildings more energy efficient. We can also add better insulation so less heat escape in winter and less cool air in the summer. Even cars can help with the more electrical vehicles on the roads and less pollution in the air. As people work together, we can notice a difference. That's how the air felt fresher, the weather more stable, and Earth's blanket started to lighten up. By reducing greenhouse gases, we will not only protect the planet, we can create a better, healthier world for everyone to enjoy. Now, it's time to find the solution for this problem and make Earth a better place to live in. Every time we burn fossil fuels like driving cars or using electricity from coal, we left behind a trace of carbon dioxide in the air. It was like adding tiny footprints that could be seen in the sky. Some people realized their footprints were bigger than others. Those who drove less, walked more, or used renewable energy had smaller footprints. We knew these choices helped keep the air cleaner and the earth healthier. So the town came together to find ways to shrink their carbon footprints. We planted trees to soak up carbon dioxide, rode bicycles to work, and used energy efficient lights and appliances at homes. Gradually, our footprints can become lighter. We will feel proud by knowing they were making a difference for our planet. By understanding and reducing this carbon footprint, the towns can learn that even small steps can leave a big impact on the world around them. You will ask me, what is carbon footprint? In simple terms, when you drive a car, the fuel burned by the engine creates carbon dioxide, which adds to your carbon footprint. The amount of CO2 produced depends on how much fuel your car uses and how far you drive. Even you use electricity to cool your home by air conditioning, the power plants that generate the electricity might release CO2 into the atmosphere. Additionally, when you buy food or other products, the factories that make them often produce CO2 as well. So every time we drive, heat our homes or cool our homes or buy something, we contribute to the overall amount of CO2 in the environment. The carbon offsetting involves compensating for the carbon emission generated by the supporting projects that reduces the emissions elsewhere. For example, individuals or companies they can fund a tree planting initiatives that absorb carbon dioxide, invest in the renewable energy projects like solar or wind farms to displace fossil fuel use or support programs that improve energy efficiency in buildings and industries. Other methods include capturing methane emissions from landfills, distributing efficient cook stoves in communities, and conserving forests to maintain their carbon footprints. By engaging in these initiatives, carbon offsetting helps reduce the environmental impact of carbon emissions. This aims to achieve a balanced or even negative carbon footprint. A real life example of carbon offsetting can be seen through Microsoft's commitment to achieve carbon negativity by 2030. Microsoft plans to offset all the carbon it has emitted since its founding in 1975. It effectively becoming a carbon negative. They aim to achieve through a combination of reducing their own emissions, investing in carbon removal technologies, and supporting nature-based solutions such as reforestation and conservation projects around the world. This ambitious initiatives not only aims to offset historical emissions but also sets a precedent for the corporate responsibility and sustainability and in combating climate change. We at Tree Academy also do the same. We plant tree for every student that enroll with us. So you can make the difference for all of us together. And the good thing is it provides lead points which can collect and go higher certification level. For example, in a town where people care deeply about the environment, they discovered a magical tool called Carbon Calculator. This tool helped them understand how much carbon dioxide they were releasing into the air from everyday activities like driving cars or using electricity. Curious, they decided to try it out. They entered information about their daily routines, how far they drove, how much electricity they used, and even what they ate, since food production also contributes to carbon emissions. The calculator showed them their total carbon footprint. The low carbon buildings are designed and constructed to minimize or eliminate carbon emission throughout their entire life cycle. These buildings achieve low carbon emissions by successfully implementing various strategies during three key phases: design, construction, and operation. For example, in One Central Park, Sydney, the residential and commercial complex features vertical gardens that not only enhances the aesthetics but also contribute to the cooling of the building, reducing the need for mechanical cooling. One of the proud projects I've worked on in Mazda City is planned as a sustainable city. Mazda incorporates low carbon buildings principle throughout their design, including passive solar architecture, efficient water use, and extensive use of renewable energy. These examples showcase how innovative design and technology can create buildings that are significantly reduce carbon emissions. It also promotes sustainable living and urban development. Now let's take an example to understand in a better way. The architects of a green tower were very smart. They used thick insulation and special windows that kept heat inside during the winter and blocked it out in summer. They installed solar panels on the roof to capture sunlight and turn it into electricity. They used energy efficient lights and appliances that use less power. One day, a big storm hit the city, knocking out power for many buildings, but the Green Tower kept running smoothly. Its solar panels continued to generate electricity, keeping the lights on and elevators working. People in the city noticed and realized how important it was to have buildings like Green Tower that could be self-sufficient and kind to the environment. The Green Tower became a symbol of innovation and sustainability in the city. It shows everyone that low carbon buildings not only help protect the planet but also make the cities more resilient to the challenges like power outages and climate change. In history, we have seen reduction in CO2 levels during times like recession or COVID-19 when economic activities slowed down. However, relying on such activities to reduction of CO2 is not sustainable solution for the future. The urgency for action is clear and immediate. We want the solution now. Now is the time to take meaningful steps towards reducing our carbon footprint. Waiting for the future isn't an option anymore. We need to implement sustainable practices and policies now to protect our planet and secure a better future for everyone. For instance, during the COVID-19 lockdowns, global CO2 emissions dropped by around 7% in 2020. This temporary reduction showed how changes in the human behavior can affect the greenhouse gas emission. We must continue this movement investing in renewable energy, improving energy efficiency in buildings and transportation, by promoting sustainable practices in industries and everyday life. By taking action now, we can make a real difference in combating climate change and creating a cleaner, healthier environment for generations to come. In conclusion, understanding sustainability involves grasping concepts like green buildings, which aim to reduce the environmental impact through energy efficient designs. These buildings play a crucial role in mitigating climate change by lowering greenhouse gas emissions within the built environment. This environment where we live and work impacts ecosystems and biodiversity, forming an interconnected system known as the ecosystem. The greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide contribute to the carbon footprint, the total emission associated with our activities. By promoting low or zero carbon buildings which minimizes these emissions, we can achieve a triple bottom line: economic, social, and environmental benefits. Now, this holistic approach ensures that our actions today sustain resources for the future generation. I can only say at the end, the green building practices are increasingly mandatory for our built environment due to their significant positive impact on the environment. Sustainability may seem complex, but starting with initiatives like LEED helps simplify our approach. The LEED rating system categorizes green design and construction into 6 key areas: location and transportation, sustainable cities, water efficiency, energy and atmosphere, materials and resources, and indoor environmental quality. Now, each category plays a crucial role in creating buildings that are healthier and more environmentally friendly. In the next chapters of our study program, we will explore each of these categories in depth, understanding how they contribute to sustainable building practices and a greener future. I thank you all for being part of this LEED Green Associate Examination Preparation Program. Stay connected with us for more such information related to LEED Green Associate Examination. Thank you.